Hi there. If you're a business owner, you've probably heard about the state of non-competes. And when I say non-competes, I mean non-compete clauses in employment agreements or non-compete agreements that are documents in and of themselves. So, what do I mean by the state of the law of non-competes? My name is Katherine Taylor, and I'm the lawyer for business owners. I'm going to try to explain for you briefly what the state of the law is. So let's go back. Before 2024, every single state, essentially, well, every single state still does have its own set of laws and regulations. Non-compete agreements or clauses in employment agreements were generally interpreted and or governed by either a statute in a state or by case law in the state. That's cases interpreting clauses and how they should be adopted and applied to individual situations. In early 19, excuse me, I keep saying 1924, in early 2024, the Federal Trade Commission, which is a federal agency, promulgated a rule essentially banning non-compete clauses and non-compete agreements. There were some exceptions, but essentially it was a ban. Now, at that point, employers were scrambling to figure out what they could do and what they had to do with the existing agreements that were in place and future agreements where they felt that they wanted to have a non-compete clause in an agreement. But they weren't scrambling for too long because a few months later, a federal district court essentially struck down that FTC law and made it unlawful for the FTC to enforce that law. So where are we now? Well, we're back to where we were before 2024. And that is that in order to determine whether a non-compete clause or a non-compete agreement is allowed in your state, you have to look at state law. And you might be looking at state law where the employer lives or works, or state law of the state in which the headquarters, let's say, of the business is located. In either situation, it is very important to get some solid advice as to whether these type agreements are lawful or not, and if they are lawful, whether there are limits on those agreements. Because what could happen is that you could end up using such an agreement or having a clause in an agreement that would ultimately be found to be completely invalid, and you don't really want that. So again, if you have questions about whether a non-compete agreement that your business is using is lawful, contact a lawyer. If you're in Maryland, please contact us. Our contact information is below. As well, you can get a link to our YouTube channel that has a lot of other short videos on tips for business owners. Thank you.